351, but I didn't check my weight for a while. So, I mean, for all I know, I could have actually been bigger.
What's up, boys? I hope you guys been doing well. There's a lot that's been going on, especially I want to talk about particularly the fat movement. And I think it's pretty interesting. Some say you're fat phobic if you disagree. Some say this and that. But what I want to look at and talk to is my friend that goes back to 2016 Birdman and his journey from around 360 pounds to where he is now. Because one thing for me to be up here talking on a pedestal, talking about fat isn't healthy or anything, but he is someone who is an inspiration for me, myself personally, to be able to take that journey by just himself saying, hey, I want to be a better version of myself. So for anyone who maybe struggles with their weight or anything, I want to take a look at his story, and I'm just going to let him speak for himself. Enjoy, boys. But first, before we talk about Birdman's story, we first have to bring up the end of a legend's tale. The Black Mamba. The GOAT. Or as many knew him by name, Kobe Bryant. An individual whose actions served as a motivation to millions of people globally, yet whose death brought momentous changes to those around the world, having lost an inspiring player who strived to be the best both on and off the court. And though this was the unfortunate end to a legend's journey, this is where Birdman's promise to better himself began.
The day he passed away, it was like a wake-up call because I know how Kobe lives. He lived with the Mamba mentality, being the best version of yourself. And at that time, I was far from that. And knowing how he lived his life, I wanted to honor him. And I was like, how do I honor someone that has done so much like that? Like, to live his life. Like, how do you honor a guy like that? I can't just post something like, rest in peace, Kobe, and yada, yada, yada. I want to do something that actually will actually stick out there. And I'm like, lose 100 pounds. Lose 100 pounds. Because everyone is going to see it. Everyone's going to be amazed. Everyone's going to see the message. Now, when I officially got to it, I knew I was still pretty big because I was like 249, 248. I'm like, you can still keep going. In my head, I was like, these next 50 is going to be for me. If anyone was doubting my ability to lose weight, I was like, this one is just going to be all about me this time.
How did you stay consistent with that?
I kept reminding myself of the promise. First thing I knew I had to do was cut soda. I had to absolutely cut soda. The only drink I was drinking was water. Only eat 2,000 calories a day. If you're gonna lose the weight, you gotta cut down the calories.
Well, you definitely have an inspirational story, and I appreciate you taking the time to let me interview you. Any message to the people out there who maybe are thinking about starting their fitness journey or haven't yet or might be hesitant to?
Don't worry about what other people think of you. Don't compare yourself to other people. Be the best version of yourself. Once you start trying to be the best you can be, I promise things get a lot easier. If you try to compare yourself against me and like I'm running 7 to 10 miles, you're gonna be way behind. You're gonna be very behind. But if you just think about, all right, I ran a mile, great, and tomorrow you run a mile and a half, mile and a quarter. It's like you improved on yourself. Just think on your own goals. Don't think about other people's goals. Just be the best you can be. That goes a long way. Trust me.
The GOAT himself, the mighty Birdman himself. When another new game comes out, definitely hit me up. We gotta play sometime. Shit. Man.
Eventually. I heard Dragon Ball Tenkaichi 84 will come.
Yes. Yo, what's up, boys? If you watched this far to the end, I just want to say I really appreciate it for watching. And in my closing remarks, I just want to say there's a lot to take away from Birdman. I said in the beginning, I personally find a lot of inspiration from it. And maybe if you're going through something in life or you may so happen to be overweight, I think his final words of advice were just do it for you. You know, don't compare yourself to me, to him, to anyone. And, you know, it's easier to say, oh, you're fat, you know, and be, I guess, made fun of or whatever for it, especially with all the ridicule. There can be ridicule. I'll admit, you know, you can be the butt of the joke if you are overweight, and it might be easier to kind of relinquish yourself in the fat community where you're accepted for being you. But at the same time, if you really aren't comfortable being in your own body, it might be the time to try to take the steps forward. You know, baby steps, stop drinking soda. And then eventually, once you stop drinking soda, maybe start going for walks or maybe go to the court. And I just want to say, if it means anything, I personally believe you can do it. And, you know, if you feel that you really want to lose weight or start at anything, do it. And I believe in you. Have a good one, boys.
With all these scars, I'll learn my lesson. Things that got